Tony Stark, a billionaire playboy genius who creates top-notch weapons and robotics. One day, while showing off some new weaponry to the military, Tony was captured and forced to make weapons for the enemy. However, this would lead to Tony becoming one of the Earth's mightiest heroes, Iron Man. To be a warrior means you must possess a good 3 particular qualifications: the skills of a warrior, worthy goals, and a significant amount of intelligence. Welcome to Warriors in Fiction, and in this series we take fictional characters and determine whether or not they can be considered a warrior. So go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Today's video will focus on the MCU version of Iron Man, not the comic version. The comic version will come later. Anyway, Tony Stark went from an arrogant ass with tons of money to a superhero with tons of money. Many believe Tony was too self-absorbed to be a decent hero.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off, what are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
However, he would prove them very wrong. Skills. The Iron Man suit we're used to seeing has many advanced systems to it, giving Tony very much robotically enhanced abilities, such as flying, repulsor blasts, missile launchers, and his unique unibeam. It has an AI system that guides it, called Jarvis, later on Friday. Outside of the metal suit, Tony had generally great physical conditioning. He had enhanced reflexes and stamina due to years being in the suit. Tony and his company previously made weapons for tech and military use. Tony's suit is made from the top of the line Stark technology and powered by a mini arc reactor Tony also uses for a heart. Goals. Tony's father helped create the atomic bomb, and in doing so, he created a $1 million empire known as Stark Industries. Stark Industries created and sold weapons to the US military. Unbeknownst to Tony, the man that he was raised by his parents suddenly passed away. Obadiah Stane was selling weapons to terrorists and ordered Tony be killed by these terrorists. He wanted the company all for himself. Tony realized while he was kidnapped that the destruction and death caused by his own creations was getting out of hand. Tony didn't know that his weapons was in the hand of terrorists up until he saw that they were in the hands of terrorists. So his goal became clear, and that was to take Stark's technology into a new direction. In order to escape the terrorists that kidnapped him, he created a hulky suit of armor, which later versions became the Iron Man suit we all know and love. After dealing with the terrorists, Tony did something that no hero had ever done. He revealed himself to the world and told everyone that he was the new hero, the Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Intelligence. Tony Stark may have been born into money, but he was a genius all on his own. He said to have built his first actual working engine at 4 years old, or something like that. Tony had to be extra smart because to reveal yourself to the world as a superhero, you don't have to then worry about hiding your identity. That's a big part of a thing that heroes do. He didn't have to worry about that. That part was out the window. It was not many people that was that close to him except for his assistant Pepper, and he always made sure that she was protected. Tony created an AI to help guide his suits and make his everyday life better. He even created Ultron next to Dr. Bruce Banner. Tony is said to be one of the most brilliant minds on Earth, and later we find out he's one of the most brilliant minds in the universe. Tony was said to be a very selfish hero, but we see how that ended. Y'all seen Infinity War. In conclusion, Tony's skills, definitely that of a warrior. He's a self-made man. He made himself a suit of armor to pick up where his actual physical abilities were lacking off, and that's something that a warrior will most definitely do. You come up with ways to defeat your enemies. That if you're not capable of something, you come up with a way to do that something, and he did that, and that was something that was considered impossible in his world up until he did it. Only the mind of Tony Stark could come up with a mini arc reactor to keep his heart powered. Only Tony Stark could do that. His goals, definitely the goal of taking responsibility of something that you did and making sure that you used your knowledge and your combat to correct that something, to correct that wrong, is something that a warrior would do. So he definitely passes in that aspect. Intelligence. Tony is always constantly thinking of ways to create and make the world a safe place. He wants to create things to help protect the world and protect the people of the world. He also really wants to take responsibility for the weapons and stuff that he made that caused so much damage. And even after he did take responsibility for those weapons and stopped making weapons of mass destruction, they had this whole deal with Ultron, and it destroyed a whole country, just about an entire place. And he wanted to take further responsibility with that and let the government kind of sanctioned all of the Avengers' actions. He was willing to let the government have control over what the Avengers did. Other Avengers knew that the government would just use this power, abuse this power, but Tony was willing to put it in the hands of someone else because all they seem to do is bring about destruction. The destruction of New York caused by Loki, the destruction of Sokovia, all of this, he took this and saw that the deaths and stuff were stacking up, even though it was collateral damage. He didn't really agree with collateral damage. So in my opinion, Tony Stark is a warrior. He's a hero and he's a legend. And we will forever know him as the Iron Man.
世話の焼けるやつらだ。